Hello, my dear students. Today's lecture in Tourism Product Planning and Organization is first lecture, and I'm happy to see you in this subject. And today's lecture, I will introduce to you the fundamental the concepts of tourism product planning and organizations. In today's lecture, I will introduce the main concept of tourism product, what is it, and what it includes, components of tourism product, and future of tourism product, and what types of tourism product we have in tourism industry, and tourism product of planning. In general, I will introduce in the role of tourism product in general. I will introduce to you. In every lecture, I will give you the list of lecture glossary, which is very important to learn by heart and write down to your lecture notebooks. Purpose of today's lecture to understand what is it tourism product and how it will organize during the tourism industry and how it's very important in tourism destination. By the end of today's lecture, you can understand what is a tourism product and what types of components it has, and also how it will be in the future, and or even you can identify different types of tourism product in general. And also, for each lecture, I will give you theoretical foundation, which is very important to understand theories, and also which is related to today's lecture and each lecture. In this, the function of theoretical foundation, how it's related each topic, every lecture, and how we can use for our future research. Concept of tourism product is one of the main ideas of this lecture and also this subject. Tourism product is combines of goods, services, attractions, activities, even experiences which is offered tourists to get satisfied and emotional, memorable tourism or services. And also overall all this experience of tourists during the journey or during the trips. Tourism product, which is included resources, services, activities, experiences. All together it will be concept of tourism product. What does a tourism product include in general? Firstly, it's attractions, which is one of the important things, and accommodations, food and beverage, and also excursions, tourist services, transportation, activities, additional services. All it's together included tourism product. And also they cannot be aware, be alive without each other. Tourist product and tourist services, which is very important, and also what is difference between tourist services. Tourist services, one specific service, for example, hotel accommodations or restaurant meals or guide services. Tourism product is combination of several elements or several services of tourism. Like complete tour package, it's tourism product, not tourism services. And also, for example, food, accommodations, additional activities, additional services, all together it's tourism product. Tour with guided or other services, it's included tourism product. A hotel room is a tourism services. A 5-day entire services, it's tourism product, which is very important to identify difference between them. Why is the tourism product very important or significant? Because its well-designed tourism product helps to satisfy tourism needs, create memorable experience, increase destination attractiveness, which is very significant, very important, generate revenue, improve competitiveness between like tourism companies or tourism destinations, support local businesses. It's very important things in tourism product, and also encourage uh, coming again tourists. All to the successful organizing tourism product, its experiences satisfy tourists, which is provided satisfy tourists. It's really important. Components of tourism product, it's included or consist like attractions, as I said before, accessibility, accommodations, amenities or additional services, activities, supporting infrastructure. All together it's tourism product. Main characteristics or features of tourism product. What is it? It's first of all, intangible. Intangible, tangible. Sometimes we cannot touch like services. That's why like it's intangible. And variable. It can be changeable over time. Permissible. It's also another like characteristics of tourism product. Complexity and seasonality. All it's very important. Why is complexity? Because it's complex all together, not just one service. That's why it's. And another main like drawbacks, I think so. It's seasonality of tourism product. Tourism product planning, one of the important thing in tourism product or organizing them, because without planning, it's not possible to get satisfied tourists again, or without it, it cannot be more competitiveness. That's why it's planning its tourist needs, market demanding, destination resources, available services or accessible services, costs, competitiveness, and finally sustainability, which is nowadays very trendy, it's very tendency. All together creates product that attractive and feasible and competitive and valuable, which is very important. Steps of tourism product, it creates several steps of planning, which is very important to understand. It's market searching, analyzing, or it can be, for example, identifying different target audiences and also finding new channels to promoting, for distributing. All together it creates steps of tourism product planning or organizing. In conclusion, in this lecture, I will introduce the main concepts of what is a tourism product, what is included, and how it will be more attractive of a tourism product, and the characteristics of tourism product. In this subject, it's very important how we will organize or planning tourism product properly, step by step, by advanced destination nations or destination companies. It's very important. I think today's lecture was very important, informative, and also interesting. Please, to understand properly today's lecture, you can read this list of, from this list of reference, one or two at least, like resources, which is very important to do, like seminar tasks. Thank you so much for your attention and see you in your seminar task. Bye bye.